Hi, and welcome to the Feel Good Always podcast. I'm Becky Bradley. So, today I'm going to be sharing angel wisdom, channeled messages from the angels from my daughter Kira. It's really beautiful wisdom coming through today on this channeled transmission. And if you're new to the podcast, I want to welcome you here. I'm really glad you're here. I don't believe anybody finds us by accident. We find each other through energy. So this podcast is about embodied awakening, real stories of love, connection, remembering who we are, shared through lived experience, mine and the other people that come onto this podcast. It's really just about this guidance that's coming through me to all of you that helps us stay grounded and calm and aligned in a changing world. Like I said, today is a channeled transmission from my daughter Kira and the beings that are helping. This message today, it talks about calm again. It talks about wonder, invoking curiosity, this direct insight that we are receiving from the beings that are helping us here as we are on Earth and they are helping. It explores how grief can be transformed into joy and presence, and how living from the frequency of Feel Good Always, it can become a way of participating in the great awakening that we're all walking through. So if you're new here, I'm so glad that you found your way to this space. Please take a moment to subscribe or follow this podcast. Leave a comment if you're on YouTube or Spotify. It truly helps the messages that I am bringing through reach the people that are meant to hear them. So my daughter, Kira Bradley, she was in a tragic UTV accident when she was 15 years old. She died, and obviously I was completely grief-stricken, but it really opened me up and expanded me. And she's been in constant communication with me, offering direct guidance, wisdom, and really the truth that has fundamentally changed the way I experience everything. My entire existence has changed. How I experience life, love, connection. So I share these messages every couple of weeks. You can go back. I explain how I share them. I will be putting in the show notes something that you could click on. I'll be sharing this to Substack, where I will put the entire transmission in there. If you want to read it word for word, you can read it on there. Go read it, see what it means to you. Because remember, always it means something to me, and I'm going to share what came through and my interpretation. As always, we listen to ourselves, take the pieces that resonate. I love when people read the transmissions and give their own input, because that's my field, bringing me more information for what I need to see. So yeah, if you click on the Substack link, you can read it there and leave a comment there. And so that we can start talking about these transmissions together, that would be really amazing. So what I'm sharing today, I always say this, it's not meant to convince you of anything. It's for those that are really already feeling the veil thinning, noticing the signs, really craving a deeper truth and sensing that something is shifting in the world, both personally in our personal lives, and then we can see it on a collective scale. And so the message I'm about to share, it continues to talk about the work, the inner awakening that's happening, and it's happening inside of us. That it is not something that's happening out there. It's not something out in the future. It's actually already happening. So what I do when I read these is I read several lines and then I go line by line with my interpretation. Before I get started, I also want to say that these messages come across from Kira. I use a pendulum and a letterboard, and it comes directly from Kira, but she has let me know in many transmissions before this that it is a collection of souls. So if you hear something that resonates, if you have someone on the other side, just know that they can give you messages through me, through anything out in the world. So if something feels like it's directly for you from a loved one on the other side, it is. Do not doubt it. It is, it is, it is. And so this is a collective group of souls bringing me this information. But it does directly come from Kira. You know, she's so expansive now on the other side that she has a lot of help, and they are helping us. So she starts off, "Hi, Mom. Call Feel Good Always beautiful wisdom. Call Feel Good Always. Kira gives you insight." I love this. Of course, at first she's always saying, "Hi, Mom." That's kind of how she always starts it. And then tells us, "Call Feel Good Always beautiful wisdom." So we know that this Feel Good Always, it's more than just a phrase. It's a frequency. It's this path that carries this wisdom that we're all embodying, remembering that we do have this divine right to feel good even under really tragic circumstances. And when I say feel good, that doesn't mean that we always feel good. It's actually the act of feeling. So it's like, has two meanings here, feeling good, which we can, we have to believe that we can, even under the worst circumstances, and that we also have to feel. And so she's just saying, call, feel good always, beautiful wisdom. Okay. It's beautiful wisdom. Again, then she says, call, feel good always. So we're being asked to call on this energy, to call in feel good always, to bring this energy of feel good always, which is feeling, believing that this higher consciousness is true, not listening to the doubt that comes in, even if other people don't match your frequency, really bringing it in everything we do, letting it ripple out into our teachings, to other people, our conversations, really wherever we go. The next thing she says is, Kira gives you insight. Well, I know this. I have merged consciousness with Kira. She's been sharing her messages with me since really when she was here on Earth, we would have a lot of the same thoughts. And as soon as she died, it was immediate that I could hear her. It was like we were, I had a lot of knowing. And she's just reminding me how connected we are, which I know. And I believe that this message is more for anybody that might be listening that is connected to someone on the other side and is thinking it's a little side or wondering where that thought came from. It's just a reminder of how much we are being helped, especially when we have someone on the other side. That person on the other side is now this expansive soul that can connect to us. And that is what Kira does for me. She provides me with insight. I often say it didn't feel like my idea. There were so many things that I would feel like I wanted to do that, especially in grief, showing up to things that I really didn't want to do. And then seeing a lot of signs and connections, like that's where I was supposed to be, because I listened even when it didn't feel like my idea. And that's her giving me that insight. So the next lines are, team opens direct. Direct is feeding wonder. Insights direct wonder. Wisdom directs insight. Feed you with direct insight. You feed high vibration to the great awakening. So the team, that's this team of angels, this team of beings on the other sides. We're actually part of the team. We are just the feet on the ground. Kira would say, she's helping vacate people out of this world, which really meant like the world as they know it. And I'm her feet on the ground. So we're part of the team. The team is helping. They are opening up that direct line of communication. So if we remain open enough to hear and feel it, we will feel that wonder. We are being guided to awaken to this feeling of wonder, of curiosity. We don't have to know exactly what's going to happen. We don't. And I think that is where we really expand, is when we can surrender to the moment, to know that we are already doing it, and that to continue to be curious about everything that we're doing, about every experience that we're having, continuing to question everything, that we don't have to know the outcome, how it will end up, but we can continue to be curious. We have curiosity and awe because this insight is directing wonder. And we have this curiosity and this awe about the world. I know I feel like that, like kind of everything is like, whoa, I'm just experiencing the world in a whole new way. This insight directs wonder. So she says that insight directs wonder. So I'm being fed all this information, which is really a feeling. And that feeling and that insight, it helps direct that curiosity, understanding that leads to that deeper curiosity about life, about reality, about what's really going on here, questioning like really everything. Then that line that says wisdom directs insight. So the wisdom, it guides how this insight is used. It keeps this insight grounded. This isn't just that we're receiving information. There's this higher wisdom that's bringing it through. And then we just use our discernment to know what needs to be said or done next. And really kind of trusting that whatever we're doing is kind of the right thing. Not kind of the right thing, but the right thing. It's like that. Just trusting that we're always right where we're supposed to be. And she says they feed you with direct insight. So we know that this insight is being fed directly to us, and we feed the high vibration to the great awakening. So our calm presence, the teachings that I'm doing here, you out in the world, this collective awareness of something bigger happening, this calm that starts one person at a time, this healing, all of that is this vibration that it's already happening. I mean, I feel it. I can experience sign after sign after sign, connection after connection, that I have no doubt. I don't have to prove it to anybody. I have no doubt. And I live in peace, and that's really beautiful experience. So the next things that she said, we came here in ghost using calm directs energy. So It's like, okay, we came here in ghost. So what does that mean? I do see the name ghost a lot, and ghost has been assigned before. I think this really is just saying that spirit, when the energy leaves the body, it can be communicated from beyond this physical realm. I mean, I know this for 100%. So they come here in a different form. And that the next thing is using calm directs energy. So the calmness that I have, that I embody, it helps guide this energy in a constructive way instead of a frantic, like I have to control, I got to know what's happening. Oh my gosh. I mean, that complete surrender is the calmness. And the next thing she says is feed stillness, feed steady great awakening. The continuous reminder coming that we need to feed stillness. So we talk a lot about in this podcast about meditation, breath work, sitting quietly, journaling, talking to other people, going out in nature and just observing, doing art, writing. We have to get quiet enough to listen to this beautiful guidance that's coming through. And the feed steady great awakening. So I love this because it's steady. It's one thing at a time. I'm going to keep saying it. We are already doing it. It is not something that's out there 20 years from now. It's happening right now. You're listening to this podcast. Maybe you're driving, maybe you're walking, maybe you're washing the dishes. It is here. It's happening. It's just a steady one thing at a time moving towards this piece. It's all happening now, and the piece is already here. It is here, and it's in one-to-one connection, this collective raising of the vibration to the great awakening that we're all doing together. And, Kira on the other side and all of our loved ones on the other side are helping us do this. The next lines are each useful great wonder directs. Feed wonder, feed care. So it's like, okay, each useful great wonder directs. So basically, I took that as moments of great wonder. So curiosity, they can direct our path, right? She talked about that before. A lot of times things will be said over and over. Stay curious about anything. If you're frustrated about something, stay curious. If you have a belief that's making you feel bad, question it. If you have a belief that makes you feel good, you could also question it. We really should be questioning everything. If you get, like right now, I'm getting a lot of signs around art and creating and writing. And I just have more curiosity and like really understanding humanity in a bigger way. And that is one of my gifts, is I'm connected to humans. And I just keep getting more and more curious about how other people experience. So it's that wonder, each useful great wonder. It directs this insight. It helps us move into this great awakening. And the next thing that she says is, feed wonder, feed care. So we continuously, we lead with our hearts, and we care about each other. We care for ourselves. I always talk about that. Take care of ourselves first and just have a lot of compassion. I know that many of you do. And even for the people that seemingly don't have compassion for them too. This is where she gets into the grief. I've been having a lot of themes around grief. I've started to write on Substack more about grief, really the really human elements of it. I have been opposed to doing too much of that because I didn't want to get stuck in this is horrible, everything sucks. I mean, I did that already. And really what Kira showed me is that I can feel good. And so my message is so much different than what I've heard. Yes, it can be hard, but that we can feel good. But I, finding people that have experienced what I've experienced and are expanding in the way that I've expanded, most of them are finding me through profound loss, right? Either through their own experience of having cancer, a child with cancer, a child dying, a parent dying, a sibling, many things, however suffering comes. But I do see people that have experienced profound loss. So I'm getting a lot of connection and signs around sharing from that part of me. Even though there's, like I said earlier, it's insight coming, not my idea. Because Becky does not want to be writing about grief, okay? I don't. I really just don't. And the reason I don't want to, because I don't want to sit in the space of this sucks. This is hard. I don't want to keep saying something because I might believe that it's true. But it did suck, and it can suck. I just try to stay more in that higher vibration of knowing the truth that you cannot separate Kira and I, and that we are still connected beyond space and time, and that I can feel really good. So anyways, I'm coming back to the grief thing. Not that I ever left. Anybody that's followed my writing knows that I talk about grief a lot, but it's a theme that's coming in, and I get shown where to go next. So I'm really writing the raw, honest truth of my experience, but that doesn't mean that I'm sitting at home crying. I do cry. Actually, every time I write, I cry. But anyways, we never know how anybody else is feeling. That's all I got to say about that. I do know what it feels like to be in profound grief. Let me just tell you that. I do. And I also, on the other end of it, know what it feels like to live in complete peace and joy and happiness despite the profound grief, because I am connected. And I know that is possible for everyone. And that's all. And so where do I find the people that need to hear the message? Through talking about the truth of my human experience, which connects me to others, which is profound grief. And everyone has connections in certain ways. So that was my little thing. I'm going to go on with the next word. This is where this is coming with. So she says, feed grief with a feeling, feed grief with an equal amount of joy, feed grief quality time. I love that. Feed grief with a feeling, feed grief with an equal amount of joy, feed grief with quality time. We have to allow ourselves to grieve, to feel it. That's what Feel Good Always is all about. I talk about it all the time. Don't be afraid to feel. I do breath work. If anybody's interested, I'll be doing that online. I have breath work all listed below, and I'll be doing breath work. Feel it. Don't be afraid to feel it. It needs to be felt rather than avoided, and then it expands you. And that we can feed grief with an equal amount of joy, that it can be balanced. And that is, wow, when you first start experiencing joy after profound grief, it's like, wait, what? We think that the being in pain keeps us closer to our loved one on the other side, but it's not true. That's what I found. It is not true. That if I stop being in pain, that I'm somehow separated from her. And that wasn't true. So that consistent reminder and all these things she said to me to help me out of my pain, like you can feel good always, and that we balance the grief, and that the joy starts coming more and more and more. And then it's mostly joy. And that's just really freaking amazing. And it's possible. And I'm just here as an example of it. I'm embodying it. So we're not cast off to a life of misery. We just aren't. And you can believe that's true, but if you don't feel like that, that's fine. All I'm showing you is a possibility, okay? So that we feed grief quality time. So we give our time to grief, but we don't let it dominate our lives. The next words were, don't use grief, be true. So for me, it's like, don't have being a grieving person, a bereaved mother, be my identity. Or as an excuse to think that my life sucks. I could easily do that. I had a guy today talking about, victim and rage, and he had no idea about my story, but he's trying to help me, although he has no idea. And I was just like, yeah, I'm not a victim. I could be. I mean, I have every reason in the world to feel like a victim of my life. My daughter died, but I'm not going to believe the voice that tells me my life sucks and my life is over and I hate my effing life. I had that voice for a long time. I just started questioning it. So we continue to be curious and continue to question. The next thing, I love this one. Use grief. Use Feel Good Always to show a different way to give real dreams a Western guide. Yeah, I loved this. Use grief. Use Feel Good Always to show a different way to give real dreams a Western guide. So use grief. Let it expand you for more wisdom, more empowerment, more compassion. That we can use this idea of feeling good to show a different way. I am showing a different way as far as I can see it, to give these real dreams. So to inspire others to live fully and in peace and joy. And as a Western guide, I think the Western guide thing is because in the Western world, in our culture, we handle things differently. I'm starting to write more about that. I've written about it before, that people have such a hard time in our culture with grief. I am shouting Kira's names anywhere I go, but that is not the norm, because people don't want you to talk about this or pain. Keep your pain quiet. She's asking here, we can do things differently. And if you're listening to this podcast, you are doing things differently. We're not apologizing for crying. We're not apologizing for feeling. We're not steering away from things that are hard conversations. We are talking about them straight up. If you're around me, that's what I'm doing. The next thing, dream big, feel good always. So consistent message, dream big, anything is possible, literally anything. I'm always like, we're about to fly because I've experienced such a high vibration. And at the end, I asked her, is there anything else you'd like to say to me? And she said, Kira steers the boat. Direct insight, direct wisdom, trust divine timing. And I love that. Of course, yeah. She's steering the boat. She's showing me the way. She may have been my child, but she's an expansive guide, an expansive soul for me and for many, that she provides me with that direct insight, that wisdom, and continuously says, trust the divine timing. Do whatever you're going to do right now in this moment. Enjoy your life. It's a blip. But trust that you're always where you're supposed to be, that it's already happening, and that we will be shown. And I love that. The last stanzas are each high ponder directs team, each high question directs team, each high opportunity feeds awakening. So when we ponder or we wonder, when we reflect with like this openness, this curiosity, when we question everything, we will be guided. When we ask for help, when we ask for guidance, we will receive that direct insight. Each high question directs the team. So high is just like a high, I think that word is just talking about high vibration. So it's the same as I was just saying. We ask for help. We ask for guidance. They will respond. Maybe this podcast is a response to a question you had. Maybe you didn't even have the question, but there's something in here that is a message for you. So each high opportunity feeds awakening. Every moment is an opportunity to expand our awareness. Just find yourself outside going, oh yeah, where are the signs? Like, ask yourself, what am I seeing here? Everywhere. I mean, it happens to me all day long. I'll just like immediately come back in and remember that I'm awake in a dream and I'm consistently being sent connection. And I just have to be curious. And every moment is an opportunity to feed that awakening, and that we can expand our awareness. And we don't have to be gripping on for dear life, knowing what's going to happen. The last thing is feel good always, high open trust. So trust what's happening, right? Just trust that divine timing. Feel good always. All is coming. Establish each freedom. Feel good always. I love all of this, that we stay open. We trust the path, that we're already doing it, that all is coming. It is done. I say that all the time. Only love is real. We are free. We live in this way. We establish that and we remember that it is true. And I'm so grateful to know the truth, to embody the truth, and to share that truth with you. So thank you so much for listening today. And please comment down below, subscribe, share this podcast with somebody, subscribe to the Substack, all the things. I appreciate you guys so much. I love you. And until next time, see you next time. Go out there and change the world, one person at a time. You're already doing it.